Hello, I'm Jeremy Gray, and this is Indiana. On today's show, we're going to profile our nationally ranked men's and women's swimming and diving programs. We'll meet Big Ten Swimmer of the Year, Alyssa Vavra. Even the volleyball team will get in the pool. We'll have an up-close interview with Monique Riddick, who's an outstanding track and field athlete for Indiana University. And we'll have our Hoosier Nation recap today on This is Indiana.
Welcome to Hoosier Nation on This is Indiana. We've had an awfully busy week this week. I'm Samantha Daywig.
And I'm Margot Andrews. A busy week indeed, so let's get started. Coach Crean's best season to date came to an end Friday as the Hoosiers fell to Kentucky in the Sweet 16. The team lost a high-scoring game as Kentucky broke the century mark and ended the night with a score of 102-90. This was Indiana's first appearance in the Sweet 16 since 2002. Even with a loss, fans were not disappointed. More than 500 came out to greet the Hoosiers upon their arrival at Cook Hall the following day. The Hoosiers end their season with an overall record of 27-9.
The Indiana men's swimming and diving team concluded their season with an outstanding performance at the NCAA Championships in Washington, finishing in 10th place with 140 points. This was the Hoosiers' first top 10 finish since 2008. Head coach Ray Lewis is the first coach at IU since the legendary Doc Councilman to lead his team to 4 top 15 finishes. Sophomore Cody Miller won the consolation final of the 200 breaststroke with a time of 1 minute and 54 seconds. That is the 4th fastest time in school history. Junior Sam Trahan placed 3rd in his heat and 24th overall with a time of 1 minute and 57 seconds. IU dominated the diving events with at least 2 divers scoring in all 3 events, and 3 divers scoring in the 1 meter and platform competitions. Sophomore Connor Murphy earned All-American status in his first ever NCAA meet, placing 5th in platform diving.
The baseball team opened its Big Ten season in a big way, beating Penn State in the series opener with a score of 14-2. IU's starting pitcher Joey Donato shined, striking out 10 and allowing only 1 run in 6 innings of work. Donato left the game with less than 100 pitches. On the offensive side, 7 Hoosiers recorded at least 1 hit, with Sam Travis going 4 for 5 at the plate. Indiana lost Saturday by 1 run, but took the series Sunday with their 2-1 lead.
Congratulations to Indiana's Alyssa Vavra, who is named Big Ten Women's Swimmer of the Year, concluding an incredible senior season. Vavra has earned 7 All-American honors and posted the 2nd fastest time in the 200 individual medley in school history, with a time of 1 minute and 55 seconds. At last month's Big Ten Championships, Vavra earned Swimmer of the Tournament after defending her conference title in the 200 and the 400 individual medley. Her winning time of 1 minute and 55 seconds was a new school and Big Ten record. The award was voted on by conference coaches, and Vavra is now the 3rd Hoosier to ever win the award.
Indiana men's golfer David Urdy has been named Big Ten Co-Golfer of the Week, sharing the title with Michigan's Matt Thompson. Urdy earns the title after his stellar performance at the Callaway Collegiate Match Play Championship, as he came out with an undefeated 4-0 performance. He led the Hoosiers to a 5th place finish and a 3-1 team record. This is the 3rd Big Ten honor for the Indiana native and the 1st of his senior season.
The men's tennis team knocked off Purdue 6-1 for the 7th time in a row that these two teams have played each other. Senior Jeremy Langer moved into sole possession of IU's all-time record for career doubles wins. Langer and fellow seniors Will Kindle and Stephen Vogel will finish their careers at Indiana undefeated against the Boilermakers. The team also swept Penn State 7-0 over the weekend. The Hoosiers won all 3 doubles matches and all 6 singles matches to push the team's winning streak to 7. Asade Juno and Jeremy Langer won the number 1 doubles match 8-5, and the duo of McTaggart and Barnes won by the same score at number 2. The 3rd match with Will Kindle and Stephen Vogel went all the way to a tiebreaker before pulling off an 8-7 victory.
Our 15th ranked women's water polo team defeated Gannon with a score of 15-5. This win registered as the Hoosiers' fourth consecutive double-digit scoring performance. Sophomore Shea Fournier tied Indiana's single-season scoring record of 80 goals, moving to 7th on Indiana's all-time goal list with 141. Freshman Colleen McNaught also had a career-high record with 4 goals in the match. The women will be back in action March 31st when they take on 10th-ranked Michigan on the road in Ann Arbor.
The rowing team defeated this year's team to beat Notre Dame by close to 2 seconds over the weekend in Indianapolis. Notre Dame is almost always the top-ranked rowing team in the Big East, and the fact that IU has beaten them 2 years in a row is a major accomplishment. The Hoosiers also defeated Purdue and Louisville by similar margins in the same meet. The team is docked till April 7th when they race against Minnesota and Wisconsin at Lake Lemon and Bloomington. Last week, the team also earned Big Ten Boat of the Week.
And when we come back, we'll have a chance to get up close and personal with one of our Indiana swimmers.
Spent the day in the shade of a tree, thinking how we best to spend this precious time that we've been given. I came to thinking that the best use of my time would be with you. That'll make me happy. All the little things I need we could do, all the little things I need we could do together. All the little things I need we could do, all the little things I need we could do. All the little things I need we could do, all the little things I need we could do.
This week, I got to sit down and talk to our track and field star, Monique Riddick. It's not often that you find an athlete with 3 NCAA titles and only 2 years of collegiate experience. But that's exactly what Monique Riddick had when she made her decision to transfer to Indiana and work her way into the #1 spot on IU's shot put stage.
I'm actually from New Jersey, born and raised, and I went to a small D3 school called Montclair State University. It's up in northern Jersey, about 45 minutes away from New York. I originally decided to transfer here after winning 3 D3 nationals. My coach and I decided that it was time for a bigger change, and that the school that I was at wasn't going to, hold my interest anymore, or fulfill what I needed.
Monique, or Mo as she likes to be called, is a student of her own sport. She diligently watches video each week in an effort to improve her skill. It's the work on and off the field that really allows her to shine.
Monique is very competitive. That's probably the best way to describe her. She's a very hungry thrower. She's one of those females that she kind of goes about her throwing, kind of like a guy does. She watches video all the time. She'll come in and start telling me, ideas or things that she saw online that, she might be interested in trying.
Being 5'6", I'm, a good 2 inches underneath, and I don't have the strength that some other people have at that same height as, a little bit taller than me. But Coach Jones has previously worked with Tiffany Howard, who's about 5'7", 5'7 and a half. So he had previous, prior, knowledge with shorter athletes. And that's what really made me want to come here, is because he understands that just because you're short doesn't mean you can't throw a ball just as far as somebody who's 6'1" or 6 foot.
Even with her less than typical height as a thrower, Monique has managed to make a name for herself here at Indiana. She's certainly one athlete we'll have to keep our eyes on, not only for the rest of the track and field season, but also for any of her future endeavors. From the Billy Hayes track, I'm Margot Andrews for This is Indiana.
tree, thinking how we best to spend this precious time that we've been given. I came to thinking that the best use of my time would be with you. That'll make me happy. All the little things that me and you could do, all the little things that me and you could do together. All the little things that me and you could do, all the little things that me and you could do. All the little things that me and you could do, all the little things that me and you could do.
Joining us this week on our Up Close and Personal segment is senior swimmer Alyssa Vavra. So Alyssa, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was it like to win Big Ten Swimmer of the Year?
It was actually really unexpected the way that I heard the news. The IDS writer actually texted me telling me that I was Big Ten Swimmer of the Year, so that's how I found out. And then when I called my parents at night, they told me as well. So it was a surprise, but I knew that I performed well at Big Tens and NCs, so it was between me and a few other girls. So
the way you got the news was a shocker, but your performance, kind of led up to it, and
yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. So how did you react to winning the Big Ten championship in the 400-yard by over 10 seconds?
Well, I don't actually think that I realized it was by 10 seconds. I know I was like a lap ahead of everyone, but it really, when you're in that kind of racing position, you could either be going a really good time or a really bad time. So I think I was happier with my time at the end of the race than figuring out that I was won by 10 seconds.
Yeah, 10 seconds doesn't seem to do a lot for someone, in everyday life, 10 seconds flies by, but in swimming, it's got to be a huge
In our sport,
number.
You could really win an event by 100th of a second or even tie. That's how close races are most of the time. So 10 seconds is a really big margin.
So for someone like you, after having, such good rankings, are the Olympics the ultimate goal for you?
Yeah, it's kind of a personal goal of mine, so I don't talk about it a lot. And because it's so close, I don't really want to get stressed out about it. But yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to trials in June, and I guess we'll see where that takes me from there.
So how long have you been working towards this goal? Like, when did you start swimming?
I started seriously swimming when I was 14, but actually learning how to swim when I was 7 or 8 maybe.
So you obviously made it to the collegiate level. How did you choose Indiana out of every other school?
Well, I actually went to the University of Virginia first and then transferred here in December of my freshman year, but Indiana was one of my 5 top choices for recruiting visits anyway, so I kind of had a feel of the program and what to expect when I came here.
Now, you are a student athlete, of course.
Yeah.
I hear you're a biology major. What's it like, studying and practicing and doing all of that?
It's really challenging, especially when the biology department is so competitive. So, I just try to do my best, and I think there's maybe only one other person on the swim team that's a bio major, and I just try to study with him as much as possible, but it's really hard balancing both.
So what are you planning to do, when you're done with swimming? Do you want to use biology in some way?
I am looking forward to trying to get into grad school and then go to med school from there. But hopefully I do have another year of undergrad left, and I'm trying to get a year back of eligibility swimming-wise, so we'll see how that turns out.
So you want to continue with swimming. Speaking of that, when you train, what are the practice schedules like for you?
We train 10 times a week, along with 3 lifting sessions, so it's kind of a demanding schedule, but once you get in the routine of things, you get used to it.
And how have the weight pulleys helped you when you train?
Well, I think that they help me in the 400. I do a 400 IM set every Wednesday, and it's kind of a benchmarking type thing. I don't try to pull the most weight possible because that's kind of for a sprinter, and my event is a distance-based event. So I just try to, go faster every week in the set. and the pulleys are just a bonus with it.
And when we come back, Jeremy and Stephanie are going to talk about the magical season of our men's basketball team on This is Indiana.
Welcome back. I'm Jeremy Gray alongside Stephanie Clark. And one more time, we're going to talk about the magical season of the men's basketball program here at Indiana. You're from Atlanta. You're now going to be graduating from Indiana University, worked with the men's basketball program. It had to be a great weekend for you. What was the atmosphere down like?
Oh, it was phenomenal. You know, we got there Tuesday night, and we just had a great week. You know, the guys got to do activities along with, their practice times during the week. And then as the week went on and it got closer to game time on Friday, the amount of IU fans that came was just phenomenal. And it was so nice because we all knew that there would be a lot of Kentucky fans and there would be seas of blue everywhere, but there was a lot of red, and it was very good to see. And they always say we have such good Hoosier fans, and it really shows up. They definitely travel with us.
Though the Hoosiers ended up on the short end of that game, it was an epic basketball game, 50-47 at halftime. Two great teams trading blows, and you watch Kentucky over the course of the year, they've dominated everyone, but Indiana went right at them, toe-to-toe, and they just happened to be the last one standing. Great effort by the Hoosiers.
Absolutely. I mean, the first half was incredibly even, and I think what beat us in the end is they got more free throw opportunities, and they beat us at the line, and that's what it was. But other than that, I think our guys absolutely put up such a phenomenal fight. And I know Coach said in his press conference afterwards, but they left everything out on that court. So there's nothing that we can be disappointed in. We've had a great season. Who would have thought from 20 losses last season to the Sweet 16 this year? That's a big step. And there is nothing that those guys need to hang their heads about because they have made such a great improvement, and everyone should be very, very proud.
It looks like the program's built to last, too.
Oh, yes.
Next year, there are prognosticators saying, depending upon who leaves other schools, that Indiana might be preseason #1. A lot of the principal players from this year's team are going to be returning.
Oh, yeah.
With the second-ranked recruiting class in the country
absolutely.
that has a player at all 5 positions.
Right.
I can't wait till Hoosier Hysteria next year.
Oh, my gosh. I think it's going to be huge. Like you said, we have the second-ranked recruiting class coming in next year, along with all of our starters coming back next season. And, it's going to be, next year's going to be something special. It definitely is. These guys are so excited to get back in the gym on their off season and put in the work this summer to make them show next year, and it's going to be something special.
No doubt it's going to be a great year for our men's basketball program, but volleyball has turned the corner as a program as well. We're going to catch up with the volleyball team, a little out of their element. They're getting in the pool now.
I'm here at the Councilman Billingsley Aquatic Center where the volleyball team is going to compete on the diving board.
Well, we do Fun Fridays every Friday, so today we did a diving competition, and today was probably the funnest day. It was really nice to get a change from the gym and just compete for fun.
They work exceptionally hard. We're practicing all the hours we can a week, they're coming in extra on their own to do stuff, and they work exceptionally hard in strength and conditioning. I mean, it's grueling sometimes for them, but it's great work. And this is just an opportunity for them to kind of still do stuff, but kind of bond as a team a bit more and not have it so driven about us just pushing them so hard.
Although these are called Fun Fridays, there are still lots of things the team can take away for the upcoming volleyball season.
This is obviously fun the same way as volleyball is, but we're still doing a competition. There's still that competitive aspect in it. We still want to have fun and, try and be the winner.
A little bit of it is just, having a bit of fun with the group, and then some of it is like the high platform. They have to be able to go off it. They have to be able to conquer some fears, of being up that high. And a couple of our players didn't really feel comfortable up there, and you have to be able to get over that. And in small ways, that's what some of this is too. When we do these things, is being comfortable with new challenges. Not really knowing what's coming, but here's your challenge and be good at it.
The team will start the 2012-2013 season August 24th on the East Coast, where they will take on Army, Stony Brook, and Quinnipiac. In the Councilman Billingsley Aquatic Center, I'm Mike Flasterstein. This is Indiana.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, more swimming. We're going to talk to Indiana's outstanding men's and women's swimming coach, Ray Luz, here on This is Indiana.
I spent the day in the shade of a tree, thinking how we best to spend this precious time that we've been given. I came to thinking that the best use of my time would be with you. That'll make me happy. All the little things that me and you can do, all the little things that me and you can do together. All the little things that me and you can do, all the little things that me and you can do. All the little things that me and you can do, all the little things that me and you can do.
Talk to the outstanding men's and women's swimming coach for the Indiana Hoosiers, Ray Luz. And Coach, you've put together quite a program here at Indiana, restoring the glory that is Indiana swimming. What were some of the first steps that you took in order to rebuilding the legacy of Indiana swimming once you became head coach here?
Number one, we wanted to establish a good work ethic. So that first year, we worked the team really hard, and just to get down to the base of guys that we could build and move forward with. And then we really hit the recruiting hard, especially in our own backyard, kind of a 5-hour driving radius around Bloomington.
Looking at the history of Indiana swimming, not only does it have a championship history, it's got a history of innovation with the underwater photography and the windows underneath the pool to study the swim strokes. You have followed along in that legacy with that pulley system. Speak to that a little bit.
We have about 41 stations, and it goes almost the length of our 50-meter Olympic-sized pool, and it allows us to train our power. And there's no real guide to doing that in our sport yet. So, we've gotten the opportunity to sort of problem solve and hopefully be at the forefront of swimming and training that.
Looking at your program, you've won some Big Ten championships, produced All-Americans. Do you feel like it's really reached that program status now?
No, we need to pursue the national title, get in the top 5 at the NCAA championships. So, we've established some consistency at Big Tens, but we really need to get some elite level athletes at a younger age, like as freshmen and sophomores, that can be impactful at the NCAA meet.
You've got a remarkable partner on the diving end too. Talk about Dr. Jeff Huber.
I've been fortunate to have a mentor like that understands swimming, but is arguably the best coach in this department. And he's a guy that is second to none in psychology, experience, both at the Olympic level and the NCAA level. So he's meant a lot. You can walk down the pool deck and ask him anything, and he's probably experienced it.
Peak training time, just for the fans out there watching the show, how long do your swimmers swim?
Well, we go from 5:45 to 7:30 in the morning, and then they've got about an hour of weightlifting that they do in the morning or in the afternoon before the afternoon practice, and the afternoon practice goes 2:45 to 5. So on a double day, that's what they're looking at.
Looking at some of your student athletes on this year's team, who are some of the prime performers for your squad?
You know, on the women's side, it's Alyssa Vavra, Margot Farrell, Brittany Strumble. On the men's side, Jimmy Barbieri, Ryan Hinshaw, Steve Schmuel, Cody Miller. You know, they're some of our returning All-Americans.
This is an Olympic year. There's some Hoosiers maybe we should be paying attention to?
Yeah, I think Eric Ress and Margot Farrell have opportunities to make the French Olympic team. And Alyssa Vavra just made her first U.S. national team this summer, so I think she's got a chance. And I think people like Cody Miller and Steve Schmuel have opportunities for the U.S. team.
All right, Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
You betcha.
My Blooming Foods.
I'm going to pretend that I'm not being filmed. How about that? I visit the store probably 6 out of the 7 days of the week. See, I'm a bad shopper that way because I don't overindulge, but I'll think, you know, I don't know quite what I want. Love the cheese. And the cheese, the cheese is the best selection in town, I think. Blooming Foods is a social experience as well as a shopping experience. I actually look forward to going there.
All right, that wraps up this week's show. Tune in next week to This Is Indiana.